Hi, Graham and I have been doing a lot of research about colour theory because we're working on a colour theory workshop right now. And one of the really exciting things that is new to me in this research is that you can lighten and darken a colour analogously. So you can use the colours that are close to it on the colour wheel to lighten and darken. For example, so let's say you were starting with sap green, which is just green, and as per the colour wheel, you could lighten it with white and you could darken it with black. And that would be cool. But what would be way cooler would be if instead of lightening it just with white, you lightened it with a paler version of a more yellow-green and you darkened it with a darker version of a more blue-green. Similarly, same thing, let's go over here now. So this is naphthol red light. If we chose to lighten it, let's go this way this time. So if we chose to lighten it with a pink that leans more towards blue, so more towards the magenta-y kind of pinks, and if we chose to darken it with an orange that leads more towards, this is more like the burnt sienna that happens when you mix cadmium orange and black. So I'm going to do some experiments with it and I'm going to show you how that goes. I haven't played with it yet. I'm stupidly excited about this new thing to play with. Okay, here's the results. So here's the one I talked about first, and this is just sap green, and I lightened it here with white and I lightened it here with black. The middle one is also sap green in the middle, and at the top I lightened it with white but also a little bit of yellow, and I darkened it with black but also a little bit of cobalt turquoise light. This one I went the other way round. So I lightened it with white and cobalt turquoise light and I darkened it with black plus a bit of yellow. I think that the two where I have lightened and darkened analogously are very much more interesting than just the plain old one straight off the colour wheel. But I didn't stop there, did I? Of course I didn't. So here's the second one that I talked about. So here I've used naphthol red light as my starting point, and here, just as per the colour wheel, lightened it with white, darkened it with black. This one here, I have lightened it with white and a red that's a more blue tone, so I used magenta for that, and I've lightened and darkened it with black plus a red with a more yellow tone. Down here, and I think this is the super exciting one on this one, I've used again naphthol red light as my starting point, and then I lightened it with white plus yellow deep, and I darkened it with black plus magenta. And I think that's so much more exciting than just plain old red plus black plus white. So based on that, I was really liking both versions that had yellow added in to the light part of the spectrum and not so much the other ones. So I thought I'd do one that didn't involve yellow at all. And what I have here is cerulean blue plus white and plus black. Here I changed it by lightening it with white but tending that white more towards green by adding some phthalo green into it, and I darkened it by adding in some black and some dioxazine purple to warm that up. And here I went exactly the other way, so I lightened it and added some purple to that white mix, and I darkened it by adding some phthalo green to that dark mix. And I think both of those are very exciting. So I haven't reached any conclusions yet, but I'm thinking it's a really interesting way to lighten and darken your colours if you what you are wanting is more vibrancy in your finished painting. So I think I'm going to go play with that now.